Good afternoon, Terry.
Hello.
Hey, Terry. Hey, Terry.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, cool.
All right.
And this bacon wrap, is that chicken?
All right, guys, welcome to our lunch and learn today. It's Tech Tuesday at the Chamber. And today we got Zultys, Chuck Starratt. And he's a presenter. He's a regional sales manager of the Mid-Atlantic. And he will be our expert on our technology side. Today's agenda. So what is Tech Tuesday? We're going to talk about some future sponsors. We'll talk about Longway Broadband Services, and then of course Zultys overview. No, turn the light on. So here's our sponsors. So Zultys is this week, and then Shared Services will be presenting next week, and then the 30th is yet to be determined, and then we're going to take some time off, and then we'll probably return the 15th or maybe the 25th. I hadn't quite decided yet, but we're going to take. I've got to do some traveling in this time period, so we'll take a Tech Tuesday break. So of course, since we're talking about technology, we always want to talk about, where are you on the web, social media, everyone's favorite word, right? So I try to update this stuff as much as I can. Of course, all of these presentations will be available to watch again on my YouTube channel. So Chuck will be famous in eternity. So last week, James and OneCloud, they're famous and they're forever on the web. So who and why Longway Broadband? So I'm a technology strategist. I help companies procure IT and telecom. It's anywhere in the world. So not just Lake Norman, but if you have offices and locations anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, we can help do that type of stuff. So, what's the value proposition? Why Longway, not just calling up Spectrum? Why not just call up AT&T and deal with that? So what we do is we do mediation between buyers and sellers. So Zultys may offer a price and RingCentral may offer another price. And you may understand only the price. You don't understand what's in the middle. What are the two companies offering and what differentiates the two? So that gets into the expertise in technologies and market trends. So we help the buyer and the seller understand each other, and we work with each other to bring them two together. So, and then we also work with the sellers to tailor a solution for the buyer and help with the buyer prepare a solution to present to a seller so that they can get a good price and a good fit. You don't want to buy something in the end that you don't want or need, right? And I do all this stuff basically at no cost. Now, there's some stuff that I do charge consulting rates for, but this is not one of them. So here's some of our biggest clients. We're all across the board and we work with a lot of different companies. Mostly national. These are all national. I don't have any international companies on here. I guess C-SPAN might be international, but and New Age. But other than that, mostly US based companies. So this gets into what I can provide. So if you're looking for fiber optic access or just access in general, this is a map of Knoxville, Tennessee. And this is a busy area in Knoxville. And each one of those dots signify a customer location with customer information. So I can click on that dot and I can see at that address who's providing what service to that area. So if I clicked on this number 2 right here, for example, I could click on that. It would populate. It would say AT&T, Comcast, WOW, Windstream, Zayo, whatever. This is only for the fiber providers. that's important because it tells me who has what in what building, because that's where all the cost is incurred, is in construction and bringing fiber optics to these different areas. Yeah, so here's our products and services. So it's kind of divided into three categories. First, we have the consulting side, we have the indirect sales side, which Zultys is a part of, and then we have our hardware side, which I sell to Amazon and different, and then also to businesses and such. So we do all of these consulting type services, construction management, government consulting with the FCC, design services, all that type of stuff. And then we get into the indirect sales side when I work with like companies like Zultys, where the VIOP, SIP trunks, white labeling of services. We act as kind of a broker. That's kind of the term that's used that we are. Co-location. If you attended one of the other lunch and learns, Flex Central was a co-location type and a hosting type of company, and a backhaul like Segra. That was one of our presenters before. So then we get into our hardware and stuff. So we offer different hardware to businesses. So if it's electronic and it plugs into a wall for an office, generally speaking, I can get that for you. And we don't just get like one, we get like 1,000 or 200 or 50 or something like that. So product lines, internet services, phone services, cable TV, those are your top three services that any business needs or requires. So we can help get those, procure those. And then of course, here's our hardware stuff. These are just three examples of stuff that we procure and provide. And here's some more product lines. Of course, you have cybersecurity, cloud, IoT, data center, contact center, mobility. So all of these verticals within telecom, I work with providers to and businesses to help them get the services they need. So here I added a slide here this week. I've been a lot of talk about AI, so here we go. So AI is more than Chat GDP. So a lot of people have heard of Chat GDP, but don't understand what it is, right? So we have basically 5 different levels of AI. You got generative, deep learning, neutral networks, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. We're not quite at artificial intelligence yet, but we're at generative AI. That's the Chat GDP. That's the stuff that you're using in your everyday stuff, your searches, all that type of stuff. So here's a little idea as to what each one is. So, artificial intelligence, we're starting from the outside coming up. So this is the stuff that's, where we're at and what we're doing. So here's just more examples of all this stuff up close, and you can read it and understand it. And of course, we got to have our football lady here to say, with Longway Broadband, we all win. So now I'm going to lead into Chuck, and he's going to start presenting his presentation.
You guys do any integration?
Get integration to everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just infrastructure.
Oh, anything. It is cloud, physical, premise. They have a premise-based telecom solution as well. So it's not just cloud-based stuff. It's it's everything. Go ahead, Chuck.
So thank you, Joe. My name is Chuck Starratt. I'm with Zultys Incorporated. We're a company out of Silicon Valley in California, but I live here in Charlotte, covering the Mid-Atlantic region. And I work, I sell through agents and partners like Joe here. So should you require more information about Zultys in the future, come to Joe, and Joe will come to me, and we'll get you whatever you need.
Or you can go to Chuck and mention TechTuesday, and then that'll get you to Joe as well.
Yes, exactly. So welcome, everybody. What I plan to do today is go through a few slides, background of the company, some of our capabilities, what we can do for customers, and then from there, I will go into a live demo of our unified communication software that sits on your desktop. And it's the unified communications platform that I use every day internally to talk to my coworkers.
So Chuck, let's back up. So what is a unified communication platform so that they understand what we're talking about?
So unified communications is combining voice and email and chat and instant messaging into one platform, one screen. And I will be showing you that here later. So unified communications is more than just the phone on your desk. It's bringing your PC into the mix and communicating, choosing your form of communication, whether it's through your desktop phone, through your mobile device. We've got a mobile app for communicating through your PC with a headset, corded headset, or a Bluetooth headset. So unified communications lets you choose the way you want to communicate with your coworkers and the outside world. So a little background on Zultys. We've been around since 2001, so we've been around for a while. Unfortunately, we're not a household name like some of our competitors, but we're working on that. We were developed by an engineer, and an engineer develops a rock solid platform before he does sales and marketing. So sales and marketing has been kind of the last piece of the puzzle. And that's where we are right now, trying to get our name out there to compete with some of the bigger boys. But we were an early SIP adopter. Everything we built from day one has been SIP enabled. And that's how we communicate with between the phones in the phone system. Session initiated protocol. So that is the communication type that our phone system uses to communicate internally. As opposed to analog or digital communications, which is the older phone systems that came out of the 80s and 90s. We offer enterprise class unified communication solutions. We've been cash flow positive. We are privately held, but we've had excellent growth over the past 10 years. We're built on a single platform, so everything we do is one platform. It's all homegrown programming and coding. We don't bolt on anybody else's software or equipment or anything. Everything is Zultys born and bred. And we can see some of our awards we've had over the years. So this slide is pretty busy, but I do like to point out a couple of high points. The first one would be easy. We're easy to use, easy to learn, easy to install for our partners. We poll our partners, our resellers, our customers year in and year out, and they continually tell us that we're easy to work with. And that's why we've got such a loyal customer base and a loyal reseller base. The other thing I would point out is our uptime. Our data centers have never had a full outage. And we've got multiple redundancies in and out of our data centers. We've got 2 data centers, one in Boston, one in Denver. We've got multiple carriers into each data center. We've got multiple carriers between each data center. We do daily testing, uptime testing, redundancy testing, failover testing. So our uptime is rock solid. And that's important when you're using our hosted solution, our Unified Communications as a Service, or UCaaS as it's called in the industry. Our hosted platform needs to be up all the time because our customers need their phone system. So I'll go into our user types briefly. We've got a standard user type that includes all of the features that a world-class phone system would include. We can even do some key system emulation out of the 80s and 90s, the older phone systems that you're used to seeing with line appearances and things like that. We can do emulation. The important part of the standard user is everybody gets our mobile application for their mobile phone, whether it's Android or iPhone. And I'll be demoing that here at the end to show you how it looks, how it looks and feels, and how easy it is to navigate with it. The excellent thing about using our mobile app is that it does not expose your personal phone number. When using the mobile app, it's like you're using your desk phone. So everything you do on the mobile app looks like you're at your desk when you're actually not at your desk. So the next user up will be our premium user. All of the features and standard are there. Plus, what you're seeing here is a snapshot of our unified communications client, which I'll be demoing here shortly. So the unified communications client lets you take and make calls through your desktop, PC, or laptop, whatever you have at your desk. But like I said, it gives you the flexibility to choose. Do you want to take and make a call through your desktop app, or your desktop phone, or your mobile app? You've got that choice. Now, we call our unified communications client here ZAC, for Zultys Advanced Communicator, and I'll be saying ZAC occasionally throughout this presentation, and just know that's our unified communication software that I'll be demoing here in a minute.
Two questions for you. On the mobile app, is that SMS or does it connect via your iPhone and stuff like that, or to be able to do all the features so that you're all on one message?
Well, we've got SMS capability within our ZAC unified communications client. So it just emulates our mobile client emulates our ZAC application here. And it's just a mobile version of what you're seeing here. And like I said, they operate identically, and you can move between them. If you're at your desktop using the ZAC app that I'm showing here, and you want to get up and leave and hit the road, you can transfer the call that you're on to your ZAC app, to your mobile app. Just like if you're on your desk phone, you can transfer the call over your mobile app and leave your desk.
And your non-internal users, external users will still see you as like SMS application.
No, it'll show Zultys. It'll just show whatever Zultys number,
Zultys.
number he has programmed, whatever you have programmed in your phone is your name.
Yeah,
So all features and functionality.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be your company and name, whatever you have.
yeah, whatever
Pre-programmed.
your extension is, yeah.
And the other question was, with this app, have you guys gotten into AI at all?
AI is on the roadmap.
Yep.
Yeah, we're looking at releasing some features later this year. So that is first and foremost on our roadmap, certainly, yes.
So what's great about this, and he didn't really cover it, was that full Outlook integration, right? So you can click on your email, and if you have the phone number saved in the contact of the email, that you can just click on that person and it'll dial from your PC, dial from your phone, however you have it set up. That saves people a lot of time, and instead of steps, instead of hitting numbers on a phone or on a keypad on your desktop, you literally can just hit the contact person on the left-hand column here, and it can call that person either on your PC, your phone, or your mobile app.
Exactly. Yeah, so like Joe said, we've got full Outlook integration. So if you wanted to bring in your Outlook contacts into the ZAC app here, a desktop app, you could do that. But you can also, and I'll show that here later, if you're a Google shop, you can import Google contacts. So you do have the opportunity to import contacts into this unified communications client.
Does it also support standards like POP and IMAP, so if you have different types of email coming from out, like who's get email?
That's a good question. I'm assuming you can get voicemails into your email, which is part of the early unified communications capability. But let me check on that. But I'm assuming we can. So built into this ZAC application, the unified communications client, is we've got our own conference bridge. So if I were doing this remote, I could set up my own conference And, it'd be voice, it'd be video, it would be screen sharing, all that stuff. We've got fax capability built in, so it's a fully fledged unified communications client here. And like I said, I will demo this here after the PowerPoint slideshow.
So what is that CAD, go back, what is those two things at the bottom there? Explain that to everybody.
So call attached data is the ability to, when a person takes a call through Zach, they can enter notes about that call. So you can use it just as a regular user, or you can use it with our contact center application, which I'll go to here in a minute. But basically, any call that comes in, you can enable call attached data. So, and it's completely customizable, where you set up fields to have the agent or the user fill in, and that data then follows that call throughout the company if you transfer it, and then you can save that data. So if the person calls back, that data is still in there.
So
It's
it's
kind of like a lightweight CRM.
Yeah, I was gonna
A little
say,
bit, yeah,
You got API into Salesforce or something.
exactly.
that's a big deal for
We
companies.
integrate with over 100 CRMs. Plus, we have a tool that will allow any company to build integration into their smaller CRM or lesser known CRM.
Do you
That
use
that's on the
Zoho
list.
a lot?
We're integrated with Zoho. So our next user, our top of the line, is our contact center user, and that's got all the features of standard and premium, plus supervisor capability, web chat, advanced call reporting, customizable reports, things like that, wallboard support, full-time call recording license. Call recording is an option that you can add to a standard or premium user, but with contact center, everybody can record calls. Call attached data we talked about. Last agent routing. So if a caller finishes their call, thinks they have all of their questions answered, hangs up and goes, darn it, I forgot one last question to get answered. If they call back in within a certain amount of time, they're routed to that agent they spoke to. So that way they don't have to get to a fresh agent and repeat everything they just talked about. And that's completely customizable as to the time period to when that can take effect. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it could be an hour, or whatever you want it to be. But that last agent routing is nice for callers that didn't get all their questions answered.
Skills-based?
What's that?
Skills-based?
Well, it goes back to the agent that they were last talking to.
No, but I mean, is there a skills-based routing?
Oh, of course, yeah. All the features of a fully functional contact center, all the different routing, it can be all set up here. Yes.
So this is not just used in contact center. The contact center was the origination for this software, but it's used in all types of businesses. It's used across the board. Banks like to use this contact center stuff now, where it says last agent, it could be just the loan originator officer going from that to a banking officer, and that they can transfer information seamlessly, and they can work within Salesforce, Zoho, whatever, and then that call information is transferred. So it's not just contact center anymore. That's the origination of this software, but contact center software is kind of spread across all verticals. It's not just contact center folks that are using this software anymore, because it's robust. It provides a lot of information about you, the worker, and the client. So it provides a lot of information to the supervisors to see how you are interacting on phone calls with your clients, and how the clients progress through the chain of the organization.
Is there reporting / configuration that you can do based on any kind of like performance based?
Oh yeah, the stuff is infinite in what you want to track.
Yeah. The software here comes with 65 schedulable reports, canned reports. And then we've got 2 levels up from that for customizing reports. So customizing, there's an infinite number of customizations you can do for whatever you want to see. But the system does come with 65 schedulable canned reports for, you know, for use in the standard and premium users.
Right, so the price on this stuff is 5x what the other price is.
Really?
So the standard seat, Chuck will probably say $30 for maybe a standard seat. Contact center seat probably starts at 100. So, or might be 150. I don't know what the pricing, he can share that if he wants, but you know, the pricing of the contact center is because you're getting a lot more technology and availability.
Is it feature based, like, okay, you transition to a contact center when you have X feature, skills based routing, back in the day. It used to be, oh yeah, once you need skills based routing, you have to go.
Well, yeah, it just a lot of calls in general. I mean, if somebody's sitting there, you have a queue basically in a contact center.
Yeah.
And when the name pops up, the number pops up, it automatically dials that next person. That's why we get a lot of robocalls.
Right?
Yeah.
So that might be a.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it goes outbound and people that are calling into call centers, it has this pop-up information. It'll say, this is Joe Longway. He owns Longway Broadband Services. This is what he called about before. He called about his laptop crashing and was very upset the last time. And then so that
Joe, just hang up.
and it could say the duration of the call. It can say, you know, what I spoke about. Did I have to get an escalation? It will show all that information in a screen pop. Usually you have 2 screens, 3 screens for a person who takes a lot of phone calls, and all that information will pop up. But then it also, within a financial setting, we're talking about a bank, the person who receives the call, let's say they want to ask about their account, but then it switches over to maybe I want to get a loan, or maybe I want to talk about my loan.
Upsell.
Right. So that's how the calls will flow, and it will show that flow within this software, and allow for a quicker understanding of the customer and why they're calling and then who's calling.
Yeah, so the last one I wanted to point out was leave a callback number without losing your place in line. You know, a lot of us have probably used that feature when talking to AT&T or Verizon or whoever. You hear the queue is 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes long, an hour, and it says press whatever to leave your number to get a call back. We have that capability. You don't lose your place in line. You know, you hang up and your spot in the queue works its way up to the top. And when it's presented to an agent, you know, the system calls your number, make sure you have a connection, and then you talk with that agent. So that's a nice feature to have when you don't want to sit on hold for whatever amount of time. So this slide here just shows some of the features that are built in and some of the optional features you can add to the system. Mobile comes with everybody. Presence is part of the ZAC application. Visual voicemail is part of the ZAC application. I'll show here in a minute. Video calling is part of the conference bridge. Faxing is an option. Call recording is an option. Of course, we use IP phones for our system. Contact center is an option. Conference bridge comes with the ZAC application that I'll be showing in a minute. And then chat, group chat, instant messaging is built into the ZAC application that I'll show you here in a minute.
Are the IP phones an add-on, or do you have to use IP phones?
You don't have to have a desk phone at all.
You just use your laptop.
Yeah.
with a headphone.
Or your mobile. Yeah. Yeah. No, you don't have to have a hard desk phone, you know.
Was it COVID that made this transition like bionic or on steroids? I mean, you know, back in the day, it was just, you know, like you saying, everybody had, you know, standalone phones, and then there were soft phones and stuff like that, but now it's like, essentially, it's just like unified communications is just an application.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think COVID definitely accelerated the investment into remote working.
Yeah, I think Zoom went from 8 million users in 2019 to 220 million by 2021.
Chuck, because you said they've been around since 2001. So
Yeah.
did you see like a huge bump?
Yeah, I mean, you know, COVID helped us with our hosted platform. We were setting up people within 24 hours because of the work from home. Companies
Yeah.
called us up and said, listen, we need to transition to work from home. What can you do for us? And we were bringing people on in 24
And
hours.
that's just a
Yeah.
spirit workforce,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, there's no going to the office and finding
Yeah.
your Cisco.
Yeah, typical cut time is 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, depending upon when your numbers can come over from your losing carrier. But we were setting people up, overnight in a day
With
because,
zip,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So yeah, we saw a big jump in our hosted offering, because of that, because of the work from home, capabilities and the work from home need. So some of our additional capabilities, SMS, MMS texting, that's built into the system. Call detail reporting. Like I said, we've got 65 schedulable reports included at no charge that come with either the standard or premium user. You can upgrade to 2 more levels if you want to go to customizable reports. We are integrated with over 100 CRMs out there. Salesforce is obviously the big dog on the block, but we've got a decent list of most of the folks you can think of: Zoho, HubSpot, those type of guys. But if a customer has a CRM that's lesser known or it's homegrown, we've got a tool called Flex Communicator that allows us to help them build an integration to their CRM.
So why the CRMs are important in business and within the hosted phone world is you can dial from the CRM. You don't have to look at that number, then dial it. You can just click on within your CRM. That's what he's talking about, integration. So it integrates, it's only a click,
Well, it's the screen pops too.
Yeah.
So when the number comes in, if it's in the CRM,
all the
a
information.
screen pops up and says, okay, this is Joe Blow from this company, and all the information about him, the company, past calls, all the interactions you've had with that company are in that screen pop. So the agent can take the call and say, hey, Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, how can I help you today? And they don't have to enter anything in. It's all right there.
And when he says agent, that's just a generic term. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
So it's just that's just our term we call
Yeah.
within our industry. But agent could be anybody. Could be a mortgage broker. Could be insurance agent. Whoever is that end person can see all this stuff pop up on the screen. So in Stacy's case, all wealth management client calls, and she can see all the past history if she's entered it into the CRM. And which I'm sure she does, and so that the other folks within her company can know in case she gets hit by a bus tomorrow, all her information is right there.
And we,
At the same
and
time, it'd be great to be able to put some notes in here.
Yeah.
Can you add a task? So say I'm talking to Joe, or let's
Yeah.
say John Doe, I'm talking to John Doe, and his dad passed away, and it's a few weeks before Father's Day or a couple months till Father's Day. Now I put a note in there that will tell me, hey, send a card at Father's Day saying, hey, I know this is rough for you today. How's it going?
Yeah, it'll link to your,
Kids graduate
you can do anything you want,
college, in
CRM.
June,
Yeah,
I
that's
can
what's,
tell
yeah, you can link it to your Outlook. So
yeah.
if you want to schedule something within there, you can as well. And then that once you schedule it too, it'll pop up in that CRM that you've interacted with that client somehow.
And
Stacy, I don't want you to get
about,
hit by a bus.
Screen dial.
Hold on, what'd you say?
I said, I don't want Stacy to get hit by a bus.
Basically, we don't want to get hit by a bus.
But we've got a feature called Screen Dial, which is separate from any CRM, where you can highlight any phone number from the web or wherever you find it on your laptop, and I think it's Control F12, and the system will dial that number for you without having to key it in manually. So we've got that we call it Screen Dial feature that's built into the system for folks that want a quick shortcut if they're pulling a number off of an email or website or any
Cold callers, if you got a cold call for sales, I
Yeah.
mean, that's what it's
could be off
designed
a
for.
spreadsheet, doesn't matter. Okay, so we've got we can integrate with Flex Communicator into any CRM. We've got an outbound dialer, very, very important for healthcare, doctor's offices, things like that. And oh, by the way, we're HIPAA compliant. So we do very well in the healthcare industry. We do very well in the finance industry because of the HIPAA compliancy. They like that extra level of security built in. So the appointment reminders, very popular, obviously, with doctors' offices. We do have an IVR that is an option that can be used. And then we also integrate with Active Directory and LDAP authentication.
So IVR is the automated voices that you hear when you call up any phone system. You say, would you like to talk to X? Yeah, but the IVR is part of it. And then now it's getting to where AI is part of the AVIs. And I'm sure it is their next release is just getting to the AVRs that are AI.
So I won't spend too much time here, but we've got 6 different phones that we co-brand with our manufacturers. This is our budget phone line. You can see they're kind of basic, but our 23G is very popular because it is a color screen and it is a larger phone, more soft keys.
What's the name of that phone? It's Zoring, or what's the name of it?
Fanville makes it. Fanville makes these 3 right here. But like I said, the 23GE is very popular because it's got built-in Bluetooth, optional Wi-Fi, and you can put a busy lamp field on it. And then our upper 3 are built by I'm trying to remember the name now, but these are a little bit bigger phones, a little bit more feature functionality. The 47GE is probably one of our most popular phones because it is a color screen. 27 keys, Bluetooth, USB, Wi-Fi, all that good stuff. And we co-brand the phones. You can see up top there, we've got our logo on it. We control the firmware, we control the security upgrades on these phones. So we work with the customer and the agents and the partners we have to make sure that when there is a firmware update or a security update, they know that we're going to download that for them. And that ensures that the phone is always going to be compatible with our phone system. Here are some of our marquee customers. We've got over 10,000 in the USA, but here's some of our bigger ones, more well-known customers. I would say right now our biggest in the US, upper right there, is Samsung in Austin, Texas. They've got about 8,000 users. Going over 10,000 here very soon with the CHIPS Act. They're expanding their chip plant down there in Austin, so they're growing pretty quickly. So they'll be adding a bunch of folks onto their phone system. And the 2 reasons I point them out: the size, obviously we can scale, we can grow to huge numbers, but also Samsung used to make their own phone system and we beat their own phone system. They went with us. So that speaks volumes to me.
And of course, they can do small business as well, not just big business.
Well, yeah, five users all the way up to, Samsung size if we need to. So a minimum, we go to a minimum 5 user. And then that's it for features and functionality of the system. Any questions so far before I get into a live demo?
So you talked about the cloud version. Is that all hosted in your own data centers? Do you do those on AWS or?
No, it's ours. We've got 2 data centers. Yeah. Boston and Denver. Yeah.
You get that lettered up number to share your screen. Yep, that's it. Share them. You change who you share. There you go. Hit the green button. Up. There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, so unfortunately, it's kind of hard to see at this distance, but I will cover this anyway. So this is our live unified communication software we call ZAC, Zultys Advanced Communicator. And this is the software that comes with every premium user. And like I said, this allows a user to take and make calls through my laptop here. I can take and make calls through my desk phone, or I can take and make calls through my mobile app by using this software right here and directing it the way I want. So if we move up to the top left, you can see my name here. And if I click right underneath my name under available, that's my presence. I should have changed it earlier, but I didn't. Right now, I am in a meeting. And I can also put a note here that says I'm in a demo. That's the nice thing about having this unified communications software is I can change my presence, and anybody within the company that wants to talk to me or contact me can look and see, am I available or am I not available? And I can do the same thing with my mobile app that I'll show you here in a minute. So if I go down through my recent contacts, I can see my inside sales rep here, Luke Schumer. He is not available because he's on a call. Stuff is in this way and I don't know how to put it out of the way.
Any minute.
There we go. Yeah, so his presence says on the phone. But if I go down to Kevin Murphy, one of my sales engineers, click on him, you see the green circle, he's available. So that's the presence feature of this unified communication software. Going back up to the top where my name is, if I click on the little pencil here, that's where I would send a message to somebody's cell phone. I would IM them through this software. I can put in a number here and I could then start an IM chat in the center here with that external person. If I click on the keypad, now I can make an external call out to anybody that I want. An internal call would be, okay, I highlight Luke and I've got a little bubble here that I'm hovering over. That's the chat bubble if I wanted to, continue to chat with him. But if I wanted to call him, I've got the little phone icon here. And then if I go into the center here, you can see this is the these are the IMs and chats I've had with him over the past few months. And you can see here, he sent me a PDF. He sent me another document here, another PDF. If I go down to the bottom here, you can see the bottom thing where I would fill in the chat with him, but there's a little paper clip there that shows that I can also attach files to the chat here that I'm with him. I go all the way over to the right. I can click on the call button. I won't now because I'm talking with you guys, but I could also start screen sharing with them. If I go, well, let me say this, if I go all the way over to the right, the ellipsis here, 3 ellipsis, and I click on info, now I can see a picture of Luke. All of this is completely customizable. The end user customer can, add a photo if they want. He's got his business extension in here. He could also have his cell phone number, his home phone if he wanted, his email address is here. But the reason I bring this little info section up is if Luke were on the phone and I desperately needed to talk with him as soon as he got off the phone, I could watch over here to see when he gets available, or I can click enable presence alert over here on the right. And the system would tell me when he's available, when he gets off the phone, and give me a little pop-up message. So that's the part of the automation system with this unified communication software. So I mentioned earlier that I have a choice on how I want to take and make calls. And the reason I have that choice is if I go all the way down to the bottom here and I'm hovering over what is actually my cell phone number. If I click on that, this is where we bind to different endpoints, okay? This gives me the option of taking and making calls through something other than the ZAC software. So if I look at bind recent, external, That's my cell phone number. That means if I click on a call and I want to call Luke, the system is going to call my cell phone. I'm going to connect to my cell phone into the system here. Then it's going to connect with Luke and I'll be talking to him through my cell phone. This device down here, this MAC address, that's the MAC address of the desk phone I have at home in my office. So when I get back to my home office, I rebind with my desk set because that's where I do a lot of my talking through. But like I said, I've got options. I don't have to use my desk set ever if I don't want to. I can take and make calls through my cell phone if I want, or I can take and make calls through the Zac software through a headset, or just through the speaker and microphone on the laptop here. So that is the reason that I have a choice on how I want to take and make calls with this system. And on top of that, I can do everything through my mobile app, and I don't even need the Zac software. And that's another option. So I'll leave the binding the way it is right now. So because it is bound to my cell phone, if somebody internally calls me today, it's gonna ring on my cell phone, like it normally would. And when I do get a call from somebody internal, it shows up here on my Zac software. It shows up on my desk set at home, but it also shows up on my mobile app, and I can choose to take it any way I want.
So the days of carrying two phones like this are over. You can just have one. So you're at a Lake Norman Chamber meeting, you can say, hey, my business number is 615-294-8936. And then wherever you are and wherever what you're doing, it'll ring to that and you'll be tied to that phone number wherever you are. If you're in Florida or if you're sitting at your desk, it'll ring that phone. So if you're a traveler for a lot of networking and such, you should be using some type of VIOP system similar to what he's selling here, because that makes you have the ability to not only call from your desk phone, your business phone, but you're also not losing customers by not answering your phone, right? So that's the benefits of these anywhere, anytime phone systems.
So
And I'm
let's,
sure-
go ahead.
I'm sure if you have a large company, especially if you want to contract with things, if someone has to be terminated, I'm sure you can turn them off when they can no longer access that.
Yeah, click a button.
Think about the opposite of that too, like when you wanna hire somebody, like back in the day, it's like, send them all this crap, right? Physically, and how long does it take to hire someone? Whereas with this, you hit 3 buttons and they got everything. They got who they connected to, what policies that they should have, all this stuff, as well as being able to manage them.
Yeah, so let's work down the left column here. I've got recent highlighted, so these are all the calls and chats that I've had over the past couple of months, all the different IMs I've done, chatting with internal folks. So that shows them a recent column. Buddies is pretty self-explanatory. You can make a buddies list of the folks you talk to. It's almost like a speed dial, but it's a buddies list of internal folks that you talk to all the time. You can make as many folks as you want there. Groups, you can set up as many groups as you want. Like I've got the Mid-Atlantic region highlighted here. So this is me and 6 other folks that are part of my team. So when my coworker Terry Bloom here, he's my partner enablement person. If he's got a question about some of my partners, or if I've got a question for him, we just put a chat in here. But on the other hand, I can also go to Terry and pull him up in my recent and talk to him if I want to. But a lot of times it's a chat, a quick IM will suffice. I've got my sales team here. So everybody in sales with the company is here. So 27 folks. If there's somebody wants to request, hey, do you have a reference for so-and-so? They'll put it here. Another group just popped up today, the Tolera Summit we've got later on in August. They asked us, hey, when we're getting there, blah, blah, blah. And they, you chat back and forth about it. So, you know, you can set up as many chat groups as you want with as many people as you need to.
He needs to put a TechTuesday chat group is what he's
Yeah.
got.
So voicemail is, yeah, we've got visual voicemail here built into the Zack client. You know, it tells you everything that you would get from your voicemail on your desktop or on your desktop phone, but you can see it in visual form, the person who called, the number they called from, the time and date. We've got a transcription here. We can click the play button and listen to it. If I go over to the ellipsis over here, I can forward it to somebody internally here. I can delete it, or I can save it off the system if I want, save it in perpetuity to one of your hard drives. So, and the other part of the unified communications capability is all of this information can show up in your email box with a WAV file. So you don't have to be in front of your desk at this Zack software to get all this information. It can pop up in, and it's completely customizable to pop up into your email. And the nice thing is you can forward it to anybody within the company. You can save it off of your email if you like. So you've got kind of dual capability here with your voicemails using the Zack client.
You said earlier that you have a recording capability, and this obviously shows that you can do voice transcription. Can you do your recordings transcribed as well? So that, for example, if you have a contact center and you're doing agents, so you can transcribe their conversations for future analysis.
That's a good question. I'm not sure if you record a call, if it's automatically transcribed.
This will be an API for app service. There are a lot of people who do that, but you already have it transcribed, and that makes it a lot.
Yeah. So because we're not on a call right now with my system, if I were on a call, you know, we would see, see. So if I were on a call with Luke, across the top here, there would be buttons to, you know, hold, transfer, you know, share a screen, but there'd also be a record button here. And it would also show up if we were on a conference call. So the record feature is completely customizable. You can record all calls for all people if you want, depending on how many licenses you have, or you can do ad hoc calling with our system to where you'd be on a call or a conference bridge, whatever, and the very last second of the call, right up before I hang up, I can hit record and it goes back to the beginning of the call. So every call, every conference call is buffered on our system in case somebody wants to record it. So like I said, it's all customizable with what, you know, with what you need within your system. So moving down the left-hand column, contacts, this is everybody internally. Local is anybody I bring on, and then I can bring on imported contacts. If I hit the ellipsis up here, you see I can bring up import contacts, and you can bring in contacts other than Microsoft. Like I said, Google. We've got faxing capability. You can see Kevin sent me a document here. If I send Kevin a document and I've got a fax transmission receipt, and I can save that off the system if I like, any of the faxes that you get. Conference bridge, pretty easy to figure out. This one I've got upcoming. You can see you've got a green circle here. That means it's recurring. This is my manager call every Friday morning at 11 o'clock. The "what have you done for me lately" call. And that happens every Friday. If I want to schedule a call, I would click schedule. And this is where the Microsoft integration comes in. I can set one up. I'll call it demo. Add participants. That's people internal. I'll show you how to add external people here in a minute, but this is for internal. Number of external callers, date, time, duration. It can be once, it can be recurring. You can set a password if you want. But here's where the Microsoft integration comes in. Save and invite by email. If I click that, what happens is see, it's not showing here because I didn't do it, but suffice it to say, a calendar invite from my Microsoft email comes up, and that's where I put in the external candidates to the invitation. And in the body of the email are links for the conference bridge. So we're not gonna use that. I'm gonna delete it, click delete, done. Parking calls, we've got a park orbit here. If I take a call, I can park it here. I can do a warm intro to somebody within the company if I'm going to transfer it. And then I can drag and drop transfer to a person. I can do a, cold transfer. I can do a warm transfer, but you've got a park orbit here, just like you would if you had a desk set. You can park a call and then tell somebody to go ahead and pick it up. So I can handle calls here with drag and drop capability and not ever have to touch my desk set. And then speed dial is pretty self-explanatory. We populate this with 2 numbers automatically. Our cloud desk is our help desk. Our help desk, we set ourselves apart in our support model. We've got a 16-second average time to answer at our help desk. So 4 or 5 rings, a tier 2, tier 3 person answers the call, takes your information, fixes your problem, addresses your issue, and you're off and running. We don't put people on hold. We don't transfer to somebody else. We take the call, we fix the issue, answer the question, and you're on your way. So our support model exceeds all of our competition because we haven't outgrown our support capabilities. Everything's onshore, all US based support. So yeah, our support is where we definitely set ourselves apart. Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, we're about to conclude near the end right now.
Yeah, do you want me to?
Yeah, just wrap it up.
Okay. So anyway, our mobile app looks identical to this. It's got the same icons. It looks very identical, and the way you navigate it through it, you can take and make calls from there. You can move between the ZAC app, your desk set, and the mobile app if you want to get mobile. Got any questions? Please let me know or Joe know, and we'll be happy to help you out.
And don't forget to mention Tech Tuesday, y'all. That's the key word. And this concludes our last session. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Terry, for chiming in and zooming in. And I have enabled the AI so you can get a summarized report if you'd like, Terry. Just let me know. And that goes for anybody else. And of course, this will live on YouTube. So anybody that's interested in any of these product services from any of the last presentations, they're all available on Longway Broadband's YouTube channel. And thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Joe, since